Still on the same story, what started as a court order permitting the police to commence investigations to ascertain if minors had died in Shakahola as a result of heeding to the teachings of controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie led to what is today one of the most bizarre and shocking deaths of hundreds of men, women and innocent children. So far, 428 bodies have been exhumed from shallow graves spread across Kwa Mackenzie area in Kilifi County. But how was Mackenzie able to coerce the followers to embrace his teachings and abandon their innocent livelihoods? Our very own Chemutai Goin has the details of the police investigations into the Shakahola massacre.
It was an incident that left many Kenyans gobsmacked. 428 deaths confirmed, with fears that there may be more fatalities just yet to be discovered. The victims being followers of the cultic Good News International Church, presided over by controversial preacher Paul Mackenzie.
Bwana amenituma katika ujumbe ambao utawakata wewe utakukata.
9 months later, Mackenzie is still in police custody and is due to face 11 charges, including murder, manslaughter, assault, causing bodily harm, radicalization, terrorism, child cruelty and torture. Families are still waiting for answers that are seemingly not forthcoming, but the investigation file may offer some answers on how the cult started and what was really happening deep in the Shakahola forest. The journey of the self-proclaimed evangelical preacher Paul Mackenzie began on September 22, 2010, when he registered the Good News International Church and acquired a registration certificate number 32918. Mackenzie was the chairman, Raphael Riziki Bayer as his deputy, Smart Mwakalama as secretary, Lucia Wanjiku as assistant secretary, Sebastian Kachera as treasurer, and Alexander Mwema as the assistant treasurer. The officials, unaware that 13 years later, a dark cloud would linger above their heads. Evidence adduced by a witness, a former pastor to one of the church's branches, said the religious outfit spread like wildfire and in no time had 13 branches spread across the coast: Nairobi, Kiambu, Kakamega, Vihiga, Busia and Kisumu counties between 2010 and 2014. In September 2015, the Good News International Church obtained a license to run Times TV for a decade. This marked a turning point for the controversial preacher, where he was able to disseminate his errant teachings to his followers, including instructing them to quit their jobs, drop out of formal schools, stop feeding on what he termed worldly food, that they essentially starve themselves, and not seek medical treatment, among others.
Wengi sana walikuwa wamefungwa. Napata kama kuna baadhi ya miili ambayo ilikuwa iko na traces za kamba kwa mikono. Kuna wengine hata kuna wale ambao walijaribu kupiga simu, walisema kama wamefungwa, wamekaziwa mahali, wanangangana ndio ukifika kwa msitu na wakosa simu, imeenda out of network, alafu mtu alikuwa amekwambia anahitaji msaada kwa sababu mahali alipo wamekaziwa.
The preachings were not limited to the church, where Mackenzie was the lead preacher. He also ensured the message was disseminated in all the 13 branches by the resident pastors. Part of the evidence that the prosecution will be relying on to build its case has shown that in 2019, through the Times television and while in Furunzi Church, Paul Mackenzie announced that the world was coming to an end and initiated the closure of the Good News International Church alongside all its branches. 3 witnesses revealed that Mackenzie, however, indicated that the church would be moving to the wilderness. In his words, Kanisa Jangwani. He sent his message through the church's WhatsApp group, including all the branches before the church officially shut down its operations. The 52-year-old controversial preacher went on to purchase land in Shakahola and began enticing his followers to purchase portions of the land at a throwaway price. Initially, they paid 1,000 shillings per acre before it rose to 3,000 shillings owing to the increased number of those interested. Purchases were made through cash or M-Pesa directly to Mackenzie or his agents. He, however, did not furnish the purchasers with any formal land sale agreement or the requisite land ownership documents. The announcement was once again made through pastors, church members, and also through the church WhatsApp group.
Personally, mimi niliuziwa shamba na pastor. Karibu 90% watu walinunua mashamba kule. Ni kidogo wenye hawakuwa na uwezo. Kwa sababu kuna watu tayari waliacha mali zao, wengine waliuza mali zao wakala zikaisha. So ilipokuja hasa ni season ya watu kwenda msituni, wengi hawakuwa na. Kuna baadhi ya watu hawakuwa na pesa. Hata wengine walisaidiwa na pastor kwa usafiri ili wafike msituni. Walipofika msituni, ilibidi wafanye kupoa mahali.
So radicalized were the followers that they had christened themselves Wateule, otherwise known as the Chosen Ones. Shakahola provided them with adequate space to spread their ideologies without attracting the attention or being scrutinized by authorities and outsiders, whom they referred to as Wababel or Mataifa. With the influx of Mackenzie's followers, Kwa Mackenzie in Shakahola expanded into 9 villages named after biblical cities and towns, that is Galilee, Tiro, Bethlehem, Sidoni, Capernaum, Sikari, Samaria, Judea and Emmaus. According to a forensic psychologist, at this level, an individual has fully taken in the beliefs and disassociates themselves from their old ways, the telltale signs of an extremist organization. Witnesses who were part of those rescued told investigators Mackenzie would hold meetings on Saturdays under the mitola trees in Judea village of Shakahola. Mackenzie would be surrounded by his agents, including Smart Deri Mwakalama, Stephen Muye Sanga, Elias Marufu Steve, Evans Colombe Syria, Michael Mweri, Isaac Ngala, an ex-GSU officer, and Charles Charo Elias Musa Suleiman. They would sit on chairs while the rest of the flock would be seated on the ground, evidence of the pecking order. As the case progresses, police have singled out 4 individuals who will bear the greatest responsibility for the atrocities meted on the 428 unsuspecting individuals. The 4 being Paul Mackenzie, the leader of the Good News International Church, perceived as the cult leader; Smart Deri Mwakalama, described by witnesses as second in command, and who Mackenzie had indicated that in case he dies, would take over the leadership; Evans Colombe Syria, considered the village elder, and who managed the local administration in case of questions arising; and Stephen Sangamuye, who together with Evans Colombe enforced the fasting. They will also individually bear equal responsibility over their missing children and spouses. 96 files have been opened on each individual to account for their kin. Chemutai Goin, Citizen TV.